June the 8th, orchids. Patches of downland covered in orchids, where Londoners can picnic among them, is an image almost totally relegated to the past. The decline of London's orchids in the last century is close to catastrophic. Even so, thankfully, there are still orchids to be seen this month. Those associated with June are the marsh orchids, Dactylorhiza species, white helleborine, Cephalanthera damasonium, the fragrant orchid, Gymnadenia nopsia, bee orchid Ophrys apifera, and slim possibilities of the greater butterfly orchid Plantanthera chlorantha. Musk orchid Herminium monorchis, slender-lipped helleborine Epipactis leptochila, and the heath-spotted Dactylorhiza maculata. To see them, it is necessary to spend some time looking in their preferred habitats. Good areas to look include Box Hill, High Elms, Farthing Down, Saltbox Hill, Hutchinson's Bank, and Darwin's Bank at Down. Old beechwoods near Box Hill and High Elms are places to look for white helleborines, and marshy ground on Ashted Common for southern marsh orchids, Dactylorhiza praetomissa. Large numbers of common twayblade, Lystra ovata, can still be seen at Happy Valley by Farthing Down. The fragrant orchid is still reasonably well distributed, as it can disturb disturbance better than other orchids. Fortunately, bee orchids can turn up almost anywhere, as their seeds are so tiny they get carried by the wind everywhere. In Darwin's time, these orchids were seen in their thousands in Bedlested Valley. Bee orchids are unusual in taking as little as 3 years to grow from seed to producing their first flower. Equally unusual are the highly sculpted pollen grains. Darwin was particularly interested in their pollination mechanism, which involves the flowers mimicking female bees. They even produce similar pheromones to entice the males. Oddly, they are believed to not self-pollinate abroad, but apparently are happy to do so here. The heath-spotted orchid may possibly still be found on Buckham Common. The slender-lipped helleborine is very rare, preferring the deepest shade in beechwoods. The greater butterfly orchid may still be holding on in the Westerham area, as the musk orchid is on Box Hill. The marsh orchids freely hybridize, giving rise to a host of different and attractive colour patterns on their petals. Ashted Common may still hold some interesting hybrids. Waltham Abbey is a place for early marsh orchids, where early marsh orchids might be found, and a fragrant orchid hybrid has been found on Farthing Down. Fungi. A dry June sees few fungi encouraged to produce fruiting bodies. Dried saddle, Polyporus squamosus, giant puffball, Calvatia gigantea, and some other brackets are increasing in size. Very common species such as the fairy ring mushroom, Marasmius oreodes, and sulphur tuft, Hypholoma fasciculare, can always be found unless it is an exceptionally dry June. If June is wet, there is a much greater chance of seeing large edible agaricus species, which quickly increase in size in gardens. On decaying wood, slime moles and some inkcaps Caprinus species may also make an opportunistic appearance. In gardens, hollyhocks succumb to eye-catching rusts, as well as grasses, thistles, and even coltsfoot. In beechwood, the first of the edible Boletus species may be appearing, and below the leaf litter, the much-prized summer truffle, Tuber aestivum, lies totally concealed from London's eager foragers. Slopes in beechwoods with a friable soil, not unlike the surface of a truffle itself, are places where they may lie hidden.